Hi, I'm going to show you how to do data transfer to and from Pelle using rsync. And Pelle is an HPC cluster, and rsync is the tool we will be using to data transfer. So first let's take a look at the procedure. There is a table of content here. I'll make it a bit bigger so it falls off. And we'll just go scroll through the procedure first, and then I will actually do it. We need to start a terminal. Then there are two things to transfer files. You can individual files or all files in a folder. Sure, there are some commands here and there's some things you need to fill in. There's an example here. Sure, transfer all files in a folder this time. And then I guess step 3 will be to transfer from Pelle to your local computer. And then it's also like individual files and folders. Let's see, I guess that's all there is to it. So what I'm going to do, I'm now going to do this in a bit more detail. So I'm going to start at the left, I keep the documentation. At the right, I have a terminal. Let's take a look. So I have started a terminal. This is how it looks on my computer. This is my regular computer that this terminal is running on. And let's see, we're going to transfer individual files to Pelle. So let's take a look. On a regular computer, sure, you can fill in those things. I'm not going to do that. Here's an example. I work from here. So I paste this line of code. For this I need a file called my local file. It's here. This is the file name that we want to transfer. I'll make sure we have it. And I need to fill in your username here for me. Alright, so first I'm going to make this file just that I have it. Alright. Else there's nothing to transfer, and I'm going to use some kind of way. This is the file I transfer. Create a file called my local file.txt. Now I've created that file, and if I take a look at it, this is how it looks like. Cat is to print it. This is the content of that file. So this is the file I'm going to transfer. Now we're going to use this command with rsync. It's not copied, so I'll just copy it again from here. So we're going to use rsync to transfer my local file.txt, which exists, to my user account at pelle.upmax.use.se in my home folder, which is home/Richel. Like your home folder and your username, they match. So this username, your name should be here, your username. It should also be here. Sure, you can use other folders too. I'm going to use a home folder here. Let's see, I need to give my Pelle password. That's your Upmax password. So I'm going to type it in now. There, you need to enter your time-bound one-time password. So I'm going to open up my two-factor authenticator app. I scroll down to Upmax. That's, you need to look for the word Upmax. And as a subtitle of that thing, it says Richel at Upmax. So that's me. I'm going to use that number. It's 011019. Enter. And now it is transferred to Pelle. Note that when I type the password, you didn't see any stars or so show up. This is a thing of Linux. For a second factor, you can tell them out loud. You can sometimes see the numbers here. That's fine because those numbers are only valid for half a minute or so. So now I've transferred my file to Pelle. Well, let's double check this for now. So for that I'm going to log into Pelle, Richel at pelle.upmax.uu.se. Again, I need to type in my Upmax password and my time-bound one-time password 586373. So now I'm on Pelle, and there's some ASCII art here that doesn't look pretty on my terminal with big font. Here we have my local file. I'll cat it that you can see how it looks like, and this is the file I'll transfer it. So here we have translated the file to Pelle. Let's take a look at the next step here. Transfer all files in a folder to Pelle. And then we need to use -- recursive, and then you give my folder. Sure, let's do that. So on my local computer, this is on Pelle. I go back to my local computer. Now I'm on my local computer again. I'm going to make a folder here and we'll call it test folder. Because I need to prepare that you're sure that I've transferred what I say I transfer. So we're gonna call it Pelle test. There it's a folder, and in Pelle test I'm gonna put a file called test1.txt and a file called test2.txt. I use touch, it just creates an empty file. I think I need to put stuff in it to properly show up. Here we have some nonsense content that I put in test1, and here I've put some nonsense content I put in test2. I have two files now. They have some content, nonsense content. Here it is. And they are in a folder called Pelle test. So if I do ls, there's a folder called Pelle test. And that is the thing I'm going to transfer to Pelle now. Here at the left, we see the command, transfer all files in folder Pelle. I'm going to copy paste this example, and then I modify it. You can read what everything means. So my folder is now called, was it again, Pelle test? Sure, I'm going to type Pelle test. My name is, make sure his name is Richel. My home folder is /home/Richel. And now I am copying the whole folder. I need to type my UpMax password again. Again, you don't see me type. There we have my two-factor authenticator number, which is 246371. And now it's on Pelle. Let's double check if I've done that. So I'm going to log into Pelle again to verify that there's a folder called Pelle test now. There we go. Regular password, time-bound one-time password, 246371. It was still valid. And if I do ls, I should now see this folder called Pelle test. And what we see is that it has transferred the content of the Pelle test folder instead of making a folder called Pelle test and put these two test files in that. So that's why I helpfully added these files so that you could see what happened. To change this behavior, for example, you can remove this slash. Now it will actually copy the folder as it is and put the two files in there. So I'm now going to do this. So the slash is quite important here, as in it has an effect. So put a 254793111. Like now on Pelle, if I log in again, I will now see a folder called Pelle test. What's it called? Pelle test. Yep. Then log in. Time-bound one-time password 720984. So if I do ls, I will see these test files because I've done that too, but there should be a folder called Pelle test now. And here we have it. Alright, so that's actually in the documentation here. Note that in rsync is /matters. And I first showed you the one with a slash and then without a slash. Let's take a look at step 3, where we're going to transfer files from Pelle to your computer. So this is the same thing, except the order is different. So first you start from where do you want to copy from, and then where do you want to copy to, which is a dot. So what I'm doing on Pelle, I'm going to make a new file. I'm going to throw away all the things I've used to show you. Just remove star. There. So on Pelle I only have folders. I'm going to make a new file, a touch. Let's do something like this, echo I come from Pelle, and we're going to call it Pelle file.txt. So now I have created a file called Pelle file, and if I see what's in it, it says I come from Pelle. So this is the thing I'm now going to download from Pelle, an individual file from Pelle to your local computer. So I'm going to leave Pelle, and I'm going to transfer it to my computer. So I'm going to copy paste this thing. So it's called Pelle file.txt. My username is Richel. My username here is Richel too. And what it means, use rsync to download from Richel's account at Pelle in his home folder a file called Pelle file.txt to this dot means here. So when I run this, I need to type my password. I need to give my one-factor authentication 091660, and now I have downloaded the file. If I now do cat on that thing, cat there, I have it. So the last step is to transfer all folders from Pelle to your local computer. That adds again this recursive flag and does the same thing. For completion's sake, I'm going to do this too, although it doesn't add too much. So I'm going to log into Pelle, and I'll be creating a folder. We're going to transfer 543 there. So I'm on Pelle. I'm going to remove this file. I'm going to make a folder called a Pelle folder. Pelle test, that's a good name for a folder, Pelle test. And we're going to create a file called I am again from Pelle, and some random text there, to Pelle test file.txt, something like this. And now I have a folder called Pelle test with one file in it called Pelle test file. Go back to my home folder on Pelle, I see it here, and this is the thing we're going to download now to my local computer, because that's exactly what we're going to do. So I'm going to leave Pelle for now, and this is the last time I have been on Pelle, because we're going to download this. So there is no Pelle test. There is a Pelle test folder now because I created it. So I'm going to clean up my local computer too. Pelle file, the Pelle test folder, remove it. And now there should be nothing. Yeah, let's remove this thing too there. So now I see nothing that is that has the word Pelle on it. So now we're gonna download the folder called Pelle test, I guess. Well, let's see if I remember correctly, and we'll see the error if I did wrong. So I copy this line of code here. There, so I think it's called Pelle test. Pelle test, that's the folder name. This is my username. It's on my account. So I'm gonna do a rsync recursive from Pelle to this folder dot. And dot again is I'm gonna download the folder to here. Again, I type in my password. My time-bound one-time password 220014. And if I do ls, there will be something Pelle here, and here we have it. We have just downloaded the Pelle test folder. Let's go in it. There should be one file in it. There is the one file. There should be some text in it. Yeah. So that means I've just showed you how to transfer a folder. Also here, the slash is important. So if I do like a backslash here, a regular slash here, it will download the content of that folder and put it here. Also if there are subfolders in that. But that means with that I have shown you how to do data transfer to and from Pelle using rsync. With this, I wish you a very good day. Bye.